Thank you. Do you think I'm funny? Are you being serious right now? Thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Teaching you how to love again. How do you love? What do you have to do in order to love? Well, I asked you that question, didn't I? Can you answer this question? You have been doing it all along, but you do not realize how you do it. This is your realization journey. And I'm here to provide you with love and show you exactly how I love you. And this is the same way Jesus loves you. I'm not kidding with you. I will teach you to love again. And I will deliver my promise to you. You will learn how to love. How exciting is that for you? And you certainly came here so you can love again. And I'm giving you this teaching for free. Do you know why? Because you deserve to love again. And I want to unlock you, so you can go out and help others love just like I taught you. I would like you to go out and teach others what I'll be teaching you today, as this is God's will for you to teach love. Your heart can open other hearts, and you have everything within your heart. You have all that life has to offer. And when I tell you, you will be able to love again. So I'm not teasing you, but I'm communicating directly to you. I put you first always. I put you in front of myself, because I love you more than me. That said, I would like to let you know that you have to show empathy towards people. You have to understand other people like I understand you. You certainly came here so you can learn how to love again, and I'm teaching you right now. Can you picture what I'm doing? Do you get confused on the picture? I'm showing you love right now. Can you tell I'm doing that for you? I love you and appreciate you so much. But you are probably asking, how can you love me when you don't even know me? Well, I'm telling you that it is not wrong for you to love a stranger. As you can tell, that's how you change the world. You love strangers. As ridiculous as it may sound to you, this is what you must do. See how my attention is on you. I'm thinking of you right now. You are on my mind, and I'm communicating to you. I'm communicating directly to you. And you have to know this is empathy I'm showing you. I understand you completely. And I do understand you. I know when you hide, and I know when you love. I can only love myself if I love you. But do you know exactly how I'm loving you? Well, I'm asking you a question if you know. I've been showing you love all along. But do you realize it? Do you see how I'm open with you? I pull my heart out for you. I do this for you. I do this to unlock your heart. Do you see how I put you in sentences? Do you realize what I just did? Do you understand this? Do you know this? Do you know what I'm saying to you right now? I'm thinking of you, basically. I'm thinking of you. I'm basically being you. I'm showing you how to do it, and I hope you understand. If you said, "How do I understand?" then you do not understand. But if you say, "How do you understand?" you are asking me a question. Therefore, you are opening your heart. But the ultimate answer you want to give is, "Danny, I understand you." That means you know how to understand. That means you put me first. This might become a little confusing for you, but I will explain to you. Basically, what you do is you ask me questions. I'll give you examples. Danny, how do you love? It's different from, Danny, how do I love? You want to ask, Danny, how do you love? Because you are thinking of me when you ask that. If you say, Danny, how do I love? You are only thinking about yourself and your gains. But your message also tells me that you are not being open with me. Because you said I instead of you. Do you understand what I say now? See, I put you first instead of myself. I was asking you. I was not asking for my gains. I'm asking you because I'm interested in you. If I talk to you, that means you got what it takes. And you will do the same for me in return. So I want to provide you with more questions. Danny, how do you be open? Danny, how do you open your heart? And if you thought that, then you were opening your heart by asking me a question. If you ask the following questions like, Danny, what can I do to make myself rich? Danny, how do I open my love? Then you have a problem of not opening your heart. Well, basically that question came close for you, but not so much. You must put you in there. So I would say to you, hey, how do I open my love for you? Well, basically you just did. I hope you get the picture. So I want to talk to you about gratitude and why that is important for you. See, it's for you. It's for you, not me. Anyway, this is what I want to tell you. Always say thank you instead of saying thanks. When you say thanks, for you it's closed. But when you say thank you, you are thinking about me. Because you put the you word in it. See, I'm thinking about you now. Do you get what I'm saying? See, I'm asking if you know. Some powerful messages I use that you can use. Lisa, you are great. Lisa, your heart can love this whole world. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Danny, for teaching this. Thank you so much. Thank you. You helped me unlock my true potential. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. Do you see what I mean? I was showing you love the whole time. All you have to remember is put you word in all your messages. Put the you word in all your messages. If someone says to you, "Hi Danny," and that is all they say to you, then it's your time to shine. All you say is, "Hi Lisa, how are you? How are you doing today?" See, my attention is on you. Whereas, "Hi Danny," doesn't cut it for you. If Lisa said to you, for example, "Hi Danny, how are you going? Are you fired up like I am today?" Then I would say something like, You bet I'm fired up. Do you get it? Because you know I'm always fired up. I'll always show you my best. And I'll always show you my heart. This is your best. This is yourself. This is you. Because you are. You live right now. You live in eternity. And I want you to remember that. You are living in heaven when you open your heart. And see how I think of you? This is how you change the whole world. You change the world through love. You love everyone, just as I love you all who are reading this. I do this for you, not me. I love you more than myself. Jesus loved you more than himself. He died for you how much he loved you. So I want to keep going for you, so you understand how I talk. Do you understand? I think you do get the picture. Did you get confused on the picture this time? Or do you see? Tell me your thoughts on this after you read it. I'm interested in what you have to say. I want to tell you, always keep pushing yourself in conversations. You have to always be interested in the other person. You have to give love in order to receive love. You give respect to get respect. There is a track I want you to hear. Cosmic Gate, Fall Into You. Do you know why this is my favorite track? Because it falls into you. Do you get it? It falls into you. I do not want you to be fooled by people. Some people will try getting you to close your heart. Don't you let them. I want you always to ask them questions. I want you to put them on the spot with your heart. You show them love. Then you know how they are and if they give you love back. If they don't put you first, then you know what time it is. Doesn't mean you leave, but you be strong. You show them how they can open their hearts. You might not have time to speak to them, but at least you know what to do. I want you to go out and teach what I taught you. Or you can simply share this podcast around so you can contribute to unlocking people's hearts. You do this for me and them, but for you also. I want to tell you that God is always with you. God is ultimately in you. He does things for you. And you were doing it all along. But you did not realize. But now I have taught you. God is within you. Remember, He died for you. To show you how much He loved you. Your heart can love this whole world. And I know you're a strong person. And that you are afraid. And just because you give someone your heart does not mean you cannot love again. You just forgot how to love. See, my attention is on you right now. So thank you for being brave and coming to me. I want you to know that I respect you and that I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I want to add something for you. I just taught you the mastery of love. You have mastered communication. You know what you have to do. And I open for you what life is all about. You have mastered life and communication. And you know how to love. Now you will be in heaven for the rest of your life. If you love. And if you love, you have woken up from the dream you were in. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to this podcast. Thank you so much for living today. And I hope you live the life of your dreams. And right after this, I want you to message me and say, Danny, I understand you. Thank you. Hi all, I'm just going to read something that I've posted recently on Facebook. The heading is Why Anxiety Happens. Okay, so anxiety will mostly happen when someone is in some type of secrecy, some type of shame, and some type of guilt. To avoid anxiety, the person must be willing to let go of any negative behavior, any behavior that leads to secrecy, shame, and guilt. The person must do this. They also must let someone know who is close to them about the issue they are having as a person. So if you are having an issue right now, I suggest you speak to someone about it, because this is going to help you very much. It's going to help you get out of secrecy and guilt and shame. The person also has to connect with themselves and also be present at all times and always coming back to the present moment by either focusing on their breathing, on their surroundings, on what they are touching, and of themselves. It is also very important to read in these times of fear, reading positive knowledge or any type of knowledge, but usually in the business, spiritual, personal development, leadership, finance are all good places to start with to get this knowledge. This information later down the track will help you become confident as a person. The knowledge learnt goes a long way in helping others who were in your position today. If you drink a lot of alcohol, you suddenly become dependent on alcohol because of the feeling it gives you. Eventually down the road, you start to crumble as a human being. You start having issues, fights, relationship problems, and you start neglecting friends. You also start having mental health problems. This also goes with drugs, alcohol, porn, hate, jealousy. Also, by doing these acts, you lose yourself. You start suffering from low confidence. And the more you do these acts, the more lonely you are in life. This life is magnificent when you are able to control your mind, your actions, yourself, being self-disciplined, self-controlled, being intelligent, not doing any form of drug, reading positive material. This also accounts to being a positive human being. And this accounts to being mature. And this accounts to being an honest person and a straightforward person. The more positive knowledge you have as a human being, which is knowledge of yourself, and you can do this by reading from others, the more confident you will be about yourself. I have personally read 800 hours and I have transformed my life into one positive person. And if you do the same, I promise you that you will be a positive person today. You will be confident. You will be intelligible because you have all this knowledge. Also, by having this much knowledge, you'll be able to help a lot of people. You also must let go of anything self-destructive in your life. The person must let go of any addictions in order to be mature and have a fulfilling life. A person who is successful in their life is confident. They get this confidence through letting go of self-destructive behaviors and reading positive knowledge also. The more self-confident you are, the more you'll be able to encourage people, to help people, and to be positive in your daily life. Also, being aware of yourself is the first step toward change. As this is self-awareness, you start disciplining yourself, controlling your ego, controlling your mind. And by doing this, you become a creator of your own experience, where you are not letting the ego control your life. You start living by your own rules. You say what goes. Also, you must respect yourself. You must love the person you are. You must understand who you are as a human being. You must know yourself and be comfortable with who you are. You must be happy about yourself. This is how positivity starts happening more in your life. When you are positive, you start enjoying life heaps more. You are joyful and confident about yourself. You feel good in your shoes. and you have a positive effect on the people around you. Also, to let go of anxiety is to have the knowledge, and you gain knowledge through books. And the more knowledge you have, the more confidence you have. Also, to let go of anxiety, you must let go of secrecy, shame, and guilt. You also must be present, you must read positive material, and you must connect with like-minded people. People who are succeeding today. People who are on the same road as you, which is the road to success. Also, people who have done what you are seeking to do. This is how you let go of anxiety and mental health problems. You must be happy with yourself. Otherwise, problems will arise. If you do drugs, watch porn, do not read, drink a lot of alcohol, this is what you must change in order to be free from anxiety and have a confident mentality. Seek to help yourself. Read personal development, spiritual books, finance books, business books, leadership books, and set yourself up for success. This is my first podcast, and I'd like to thank you for listening this far. And also, this shows me that you are a dedicated person who is ready for positive change. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you back on my next episode. Welcome to the second blog. Today's topic is why being compassionate matters. From the experience I have learned as a person, I always needed someone in my life to cut my suffering and help me succeed heaps faster in life. This was missing in my life in my teenage years. In those times I needed someone to say to me and explain why you must not go through this path that I ultimately chose to go through. I needed a teacher in these times, someone who would mentor me, coach me on what is good and what is not. In my teenage years, I suffered most because I did not have direction in life, and I had nobody to show me the way. I was living life just to live life. Eventually I fell into some hard life challenges along the way. To be honest, I would not have chosen it any other way, due to the reason that I have become a stronger person with these life challenges. So going back, it would benefit you tremendously if someone could show you the way, instead of spending your whole life going blindfolded. This is the main reason there are compassionate people out there who have done what you want to do. Yes, it did cost them their time and dedication to it, but these people will ultimately cut years of suffering and ultimately show you the quickest route to your destination. There are so many books out there on any topic you want, and these books are true signs of compassion. These books are from people who have lived life and have ultimately learnt in life valuable lessons that would benefit you today. So why be compassionate? Because the reason to be able to provide others success on a platter is worth it. Think about it. You handed someone the key to success. They succeeded because of you. And then they go on and teach someone else. And this spreads around till the whole world is updated on what true compassion is, what true love is, which is compassion. Compassion, my friend, is love. This is the best form of love. I personally feel great when someone has helped me in my life, and I will always respect that person, no matter what, because a person who truly helps does not seek violence. When you succeed because of somebody, you will ultimately know the true meaning of life, that compassion is where it is at in this life. A person who cannot be compassionate toward another human being is not really living. This person holds everything to themselves and suffers from unworthiness, guilt, shame, and secrecy. And these factors are what will truly stumble you down in life unless you change how you act and how you trust humans, which is to trust humans. Yes, there are crooks, but these are ultimately the people we should be helping. Then the world will be a better place. These people that steal things are trying to survive, and they need our empathy, not sympathy. We do not shame them, but help them overcome their egos. For this is how change and compassion escalates. Compassion is professionalism and humane. And this is why everyone should be compassionate toward each other. Some people just do not know what compassion means, but they know what hate means because they were taught that way. If you ultimately want to help someone succeed, find people who are helping others succeed. They will help you succeed through one of their programs. And ultimately, once you succeed, you can help others live their dreams. And they will all be accounting you for their victory in life. If you think about it, when you have helped someone succeed, you have done a great thing in this world. It is truly great when you help someone succeed. And I am also grateful for the authors we have today, as these are people who are seeking to help you in life. They are your mentors. I give these authors a lot of credit for what they have gone through and what they are doing around the world. These authors are helping millions upon millions succeed, and this is the true meaning of being great. Personally, the more you help inspire people to succeed, the more you conquer yourself as a person, when you can change lives for the better. This is quality done right. You look out for other humans. You show them the way. You show them the door. You help this person succeed. And because you have done that, you have ultimately succeeded in life. I'd like to thank you for listening to this blog. This is actually my second post. Also, I hope to see you back, and thank you very much for listening.
Good evening, everyone. This is Danny Milivojevic, and this is the James Bond of Growth. And you can find me on Instagram at GrowthCoach007. And today's topic is how losing weight changed my life. As you guys may know, before in my life, I used to be 113 kilos as a person. And when I was that fat and I dropped 47.5 kilos, guess what happened? My life increased in all areas. I became so spiritual. I became so happy. I became the person who I wanted to be. And even though I got to this stage now, I still have to push on. I still have to become better than I am right now. And how do I do that? I start growing as a person. I start pushing myself to speak better, to do better, to write better, to live my life better, to gain more finances, to do more things, to create more content, to be more motivational, to be more inspirational, to do more speeches at Toastmasters, to create more podcasts, to be my own brand, basically. And that's why I have this podcast now, because I've worked my way up to this point. And many people do not have a podcast, they do not have a business, because half the world is fat, overweight, or obese. There is 66% of the world right now who are overweight and obese. And that's a big problem in life. And even though it's just me speaking on this podcast, I can give you the best talk show on the planet because I have the words, I have the knowledge, I have the persona, and I have the attitude. So when I lost 47 kilos, that was a great achievement for me because before in life, I used to be so empty. I used to be a smoker. I used to eat very unhealthy. I used to do drugs. I used to do illegal drugs like ice, cannabis, ecstasy, cocaine, methamphetamine, amphetamines, speed, all that kind of stuff. And my life was a disaster. People were running away from me, left, right, and center. And I had no one who could support me in terms of emotional growth, in terms of personal growth, career growth, financial growth. I had no one in that aspect. I had my father, and my father was there, but he could not lift me further. He could not make me lose weight. He could not support me to go to a dietitian, to pay someone to design plans for me. So I had to look online and I had to read every single day. I started to read 1 hour a day for about 4 years, 5 years now. I've been reading 1 hour every single day and I've been learning and applying what I learn and what I hear. And I've been doing it. I haven't been just reading. I've been taking one idea from one book and applying it. Sometimes I'll apply 3 or 4 things from a book and move on. But over time, I stumbled upon Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar told me, if you want to lose weight, it's not what you're eating that makes the difference. It's what you're not eating that will make all the difference in the world to your weight loss. And I took that on board. I was like, yes, Zig Ziglar, this guy who is a motivational speaker, going around the world inspiring people to do better, has just gave me the missing ingredient to a life that I truly want and need. So what I did right away, I started to remove certain foods from my life. I said, no more will I eat processed foods. And I started off like that. Then I quit smoking. I quit caffeine. I quit alcohol. And suddenly I quit sugar. And suddenly I was dropping weight over time, becoming happier and also doing exercise every single day because I forced myself. No one forced me to do anything. And that's the thing with life. No one's going to force you to do anything in life. Because if someone forces you, then that's a life not worth living. The best life worth living is when someone doesn't force you to do anything and you just choose a path for yourself without being forced to choose something. So as you see the podcast today, I chose this. No one forced me to do this podcast or to speak right now. Even though it's my second podcast, I don't care at all. I am here to provide a service for the world. With that said, when I was fat, I was empty of meaning. I had no happiness. I had some form of happiness because I had a home that had water, I had my dad's finances, I had the government's finances, all that kind of stuff, right? But I was still fat. I was still smoking cigarettes. I was still unhappy. I was empty. Even with a nice house. And many people do not have water today in the world. 35% of the world has a shortage of water and unclean water. They're basically drinking manure and getting sick. And I was in a better position than those people in that sense. But I was still very unhappy. And most of Australia today, where I am born, I'm born in Australia. And this country here, many people are unhappy. They're doing drugs, doing alcohol, smoking cigarettes, doing illegal drugs. These people are all unhappy, even though they live in one of the greatest countries in the world. Financially, economically, healthily, whatever. This world and Australia is basically one of the best countries in the world to live in terms of growth. It's a country of freedom. And these people are unhappy, exactly like I was 3 years ago. So while losing weight, I stumbled across new information in terms of nutrition, and I started to basically look into it. I used to just look into it and read, what does vitamin B12 do? What does this vitamin do? What's this mineral? What's in meat? What's in this? What's in plant food? What is plant food? And I would just ask many questions in terms of nutrition, in terms of how to grow myself as a person. And over time, I just developed the habit of letting go of certain foods. And I was blindfolded to which foods I wanted to let go. But I did. And I just started to let go of processed foods, then sugar. And then slowly I used to be very tired because I dropped caffeine, because I had no sugar. But then I converted from soft drinks to honey, and then I started to see, how can I substitute McDonald's for something else? And even though if that something else was unhealthy, it would still be a better decision for me, because here in Australia, McDonald's is very expensive. If you are eating 3 times a week McDonald's, you are roughly spending $1,500 on just McDonald's per year, and that's a lot of money. So I was looking at, how can I substitute unhealthy foods for something less unhealthy, and then from less unhealthy go to something less unhealthy, and then from something less unhealthy get into something healthier, and then something healthier, and then it rotates like that, right? And as I started substituting negative foods with other negative foods that are less negative, I started saving money over time, and I started to basically have more money in my pocket. And over time, as I was losing weight, I would weigh myself every 2 months. Every 2 months, I would weigh myself, and I would see 3 kilo loss. And I'd be like, wow, I lost 3 kilos. That's amazing. And then I would think, I'll just continue what I'm doing, and I'll just keep learning as I go along. And I would let go of more foods and more foods and more foods. And then over time, I would be losing weight, and I'd be feeling even better than I used to feel. I'd be more socially aware. More confident in the way I look, in the way I present myself, in my energy levels, in my awareness, in my skin, in my persona, in my attitude, in the way I come off across, in my communication, in my resilience, motivation, discipline. As I let more foods go, I'd actually become more disciplined over time. And because I became more disciplined, I became more motivated to do certain things, to go certain places. But not just because of that, but I quit smoking too. And smoking was one of the big reasons that I lost weight as a person. And because I quit smoking, that's one of the big reasons for my weight loss. Also, because smoking was getting me nowhere. I would not do anything while I smoked. All I would do was just sit on my ass and do nothing. And cigarettes was basically a big part of my life, where I wasted so much time, so many minutes, so many seconds So I was very unproductive while smoking. And ever since I just let it go, I had more time to focus my energy elsewhere. And then I started looking what foods are costing me time, what foods are costing me money. And then I made financial decisions. I'll be like, why would I want to eat processed food when I can eat, for example, something healthier, like going to wholemeal bread, for example, and make a cereal for myself instead of going to eat processed food. And then I just started to save money the more foods I removed from my life. And as you see me today, and as you hear me, today I am basically a vegan. And as you guys may know, there are not many vegans in the world. There are only 0.2% of 1% of vegans. So not even a percent of vegans in the world. There are about 15 million vegans on estimation around the world today. And that means that 99.8% of the world is currently eating meat. And meat is very bad for you in terms of animal protein. And all kinds of animal protein cause liver disease, heart disease, cancers of all types, diabetes, organ failure, arthritis, poor memory, all this type of stuff. And not just that, but also causes negative stress because meat today is more expensive than plant food. And if you are eating meat today, you are also working harder at your 9-to-5 job. And because you're going to your 9-to-5 job to soothe your eating habits, you are getting more stressed out negatively, and your family is becoming more unhappier because of your eating habits. So when you drop out meat from your resume, you have more money, you have less stress, you have a happier family, you have a happier you. You become much more of who you want to be. In terms of energy, in terms of leadership, in terms of willpower, in terms of focus, concentration, athletic performance, whatever you want. If you want to sleep better, then veganism is the way to go. If you want to look better, for example, if you want to have very excellent skin tone, then guess what? There are no cosmetics out there that's going to help you to have great skin. The only thing that can help you is veganism and to become vegan. And then you can see your complexion, how bright it becomes when you're not eating any more processed food, and when you're not eating any more sugar, and when you're not smoking, and when you're not drinking alcohol, and when you're not taking drugs of any kind. Then you see all your skin tone come natural and the way it's supposed to be when you were born as a child. With that said, my life today has become much better than it was. And when I look at my photo of 113 kilos and 179 centimeters, and the way I was, there's no returning. Because that life, I've seen it, and I know exactly what all the overweight people and obese people in the world are going through right now. In terms of what I've experienced, and there's probably more that I can learn from what people are going through in this type of disease. Obesity and being overweight is a disease. It's a disease of the mind. Okay? And nutrition is where this comes in. Weight loss has everything to do with nutrition. A person who weighs 150 kilos can lose half his body weight by just eating correctly. And there's no need for exercise at all. This person can sit at home on their ass and just let go of foods and lose 70 kilos. Yes, of course, he might walk out of the house and go somewhere and do something, but that's part of the exercise, right? But nothing else. And as soon as you start letting go of certain foods that you eat that are very unhealthy for you, you start becoming more of a great person. You start becoming less resentful of the world. You start becoming happy as a person. You start having more finances. You start eating better. You start smiling more. And your persona and your attitude changes over time. You lose 5 kilos and suddenly you're a different person. You're not how you used to be. Suddenly you've adapted to something newer in life. And then when you lose another 5 kilos, you'll be like, wow, I've got a new awareness right now. I become more aware of the past. And now you're thinking, wow, about 3 months ago, I was 10 kilos heavier. And look at me now. And then as soon as you keep losing weight, you gain momentum, you gain the discipline, and you become stronger just by pushing yourself forward. You become stronger by pushing yourself forward than going backward. There are many people in the world today who are going backward, and it's a cause for disaster. Many people are going by words. They listen to other people's words and they follow what people do around them. And many people, guess what? How many people are eating unhealthy today? 99.8% of the world. So it's only natural for a baby today to start eating the way their parents do. It's only natural because I was like that. I was born into a family who chose for me what to eat. I never chose to eat meat when I was growing up. That was my parents' decision. So then I started challenging my dad's thoughts, my mum's thoughts, society's thoughts, my friends' thoughts, everything. I started challenging everyone. Hey, this is not right to kill an animal so that I can have it in my belly for a freaking few hours. When I can eat a banana, 2 bananas, and have the same type of I can soothe my appetite much better. And I've eaten something that's not alive in terms of awareness like an animal is. I've actually seen animals and how they whack those animals and how they treat those animals, and they kill them while the animals are alive, and they throw them in the rinse, and this machine just while the pig is alive, the pig is being like chopped in half and all this kind of stuff. So it's very bad what's happening around the world in terms of how animals are being killed. And I just wanted to stay away from that. But the main reason I turned vegan was because I wanted to be healthier as a person first. That was my main reason. I started reading into veganism and I seen that it's the best path to be on in terms of health. And then as I became vegan, I started to realize it's not because of health, it's because of animals. And then that was my little trend after that. It's because of the animals. And then I realized, no, it's not just because of the animals. It's not just because of the health. It's also because I want to expand my life. See, nutrition, how it helps you is, it not only helps you in terms of helping the world, in terms of looking better, in terms of losing weight, in terms of looking good, in your skin complexion, in terms of focus, in terms of athletic performance, or communication style, or awareness, or lifting your vibes, or becoming much happier, or having joy in your life. Nutrition also helps you in terms of expanding your life. Cigarettes, alcohol, caffeine, illegal drugs, all have to do with food and drink, okay? These substances are also a part of what you put into your mouth. And if you're putting negative, toxic substances into your mouth, you're going to die earlier. I promise you. But the biggest killer out of cigarettes, alcohol, caffeine, and illegal drugs today is eating meat, especially. Eating meat has killed more people on the planet than all four of these combined. So all of this kind of stuff can be expanded on, and there is lots of information to go through here in terms of each one of these topics. But all I want to say is when you start losing weight and you are seeing results and someone's also encouraging you to lose weight, you're going to become much more motivated. You're going to build much more determination and motivation to keep going. You're going to want to be better than you are because you see results. You are feeling better, you're feeling much healthier. Then you start getting more motivated to look onto the computer and to search something up so that you can thrive on who you want to be, so that you can inspire the world in some kind of way, so that you can say, hey, I stand up for myself. I love myself. I know where I'm going. I love myself enough to read upon nutrition so that I can help my life, so that I can help animals, so that I can be someone in life who is not like the rest of the people, so that I can lift those people around me, so that someone, whoever looks at me, can look at me and be like, wow, I want to be this person. Wow, I feel a connection with this person. Look how beautiful they look. And that's exactly what I wanted for myself. And I'm sure that everyone wants to look good. But in terms of that, weight loss has everything to do with nutrition. And there are many companies today that are charging people for weight loss designs. There are many dietitians, many nutritionists in the world, registered ones, who actually went to study for however long to get the diploma, to get their master's degree in terms of dietitian and nutrition, which is a waste of time for me, basically. Maybe for someone else, it might be the right decision, even though it's not, because today, if you're getting a master's degree, it's such a waste of time. For me personally, and for the world. But what you want to be doing is you want to be creating a better you. That's more important than any type of master's degree or any type of career. The more you improve yourself, the more you bounce and go up in life, the more you're going to achieve, the more you're going to inspire others, the more you're going to be motivated, disciplined, the more you're going to sell yourself, the more you're going to be anything you want to be, the more you can be or you can be. Because you're improving yourself. Some people go to university, to all these types of academic studies, and guess what? They finish their master's degree and then they get a job that pays $20 an hour. You got a master's degree. The person who never even went to school can earn the same amount as you. Because guess what? They have the academic performance, but they don't have the experience. Okay? And then you look at billionaires today, and they're basically dropping out in year 10. They're dropping out in year 10 or lower, and they're becoming billionaires. So who says that you need a master's degree to be a nutritionist, or to be registered as a nutrition, or to be registered as a dietitian? That's all bullshit that people tell you. And there is a lot of bullshit going around. I can tell you that much. But as far as nutrition goes, people have to wake up. People have to start eating better. People have to start taking care of themselves better. They have to start letting go of poisonous stuff like alcohol, cigarettes. They have to start letting go of cigarettes. It's very bad. It's very unhealthy. And some people have grew up in that kind of area where people are drinking alcohol, where people are smoking cigarettes around them. And they look at these people as like their motivators and inspirations. And these people are setting a bad example to the kids. Whoever's doing alcohol or drugs. Alcohol is a drug. It's worse than illegal drugs, alcohol. I'd rather be on ice than be on alcohol, to be honest. there's many advantages to being on ice rather than alcohol, in terms of getting a high, in terms of feeling better, all that kind of stuff. So, nutrition has got everything to do with spirituality, with growing yourself as a human being, as through growing yourself as a spiritual person who's going to lift others through your aura, through your awareness, through your mentality, and it shapes you. When you start eating better, you start to grow. You start to be even better than you are. You start to be much better than you are as a person. You inspire others easier. You talk better. You live to the best potential of your life. As soon as you start putting healthier things into your mouth, and there's nothing stopping you there. There's nothing stopping you. People can tell you that cigarettes, that eating meat, that soft drinks are all good for you, that milk, like dairy milk, is good for you, which is totally the opposite. Milk is no good for you. Milk causes diabetes, it causes heart disease, it causes all those negative diseases, all of them. And 76% of the world is lactose intolerant, which means lactose that's made in milk is not right for the human beings on this world. Dairy milk is only good for cow milk, for the calf. So the baby of the cow, when it gets born, the milk of the mother is only right for that calf. And that's it. Whoever said that milk, cow milk, is good for human beings is totally wrong in that aspect, because we have milk. We just have other types of milk. We have soy milk, which is really, really the best thing that women can drink right now, because soy has estrogen chemicals that can help the female have more estrogen. While for guys, the best milk on the planet right now for guys is rice milk, because rice milk right now is the least expensive and it will give you everything you need in terms of nutrition, just like almond milk can. And I have nothing against almond milk, nor in terms of nutrition, but the expense on almond milk is ridiculous. It's very expensive to keep purchasing almond milk per week, on the week. So if you want something much cheaper, which can give you something much better, then go for rice milk, because rice milk has the same level of nutrients that almond milk does, and it's for cheaper. But in terms for women, it's soy milk. For guys, it's rice milk. In my perspective. With that said, milk, human beings can drink soy milk and rice milk. Why do you have to drink cow milk, for God's sake? It's from a cow, and cows sit in the shed for 24 hours getting basically drained of milk so that you can drink it. Why can't you just go into rice milk or soy milk and basically enlighten the animal's life? And you'd feel actually much better in terms of how you live your life. As soon as I quit eating meat, as soon as I quit eating all these toxic chemicals like cigarettes, alcohol, sugar, and meat, especially meat, I started to feel much better as a human person. I started to have it all. I started to be positive, to do what I want, to go where I want, to have more money. And I had no unconscious shame. I had no shame within me, because I knew that I was doing something positive. So if you guys have enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to my podcast channel. And I will also be putting the description in this podcast so that you guys can also come along to my Instagram and check my Instagram and from this podcast, I would like for you guys to go home and really think about nutrition and how it can help your life. I also want you guys to search up anything in nutrition and to keep reading how you can grow yourself. What is good for you? Why is meat bad? What does all the B vitamins do in terms of nutrition, in terms of how you can eat better, in terms of where in your life are you eating unhealthy? Are you eating processed foods? Are you eating poisonous foods? What are you eating? Find out and write yourself a list on a paper of what foods you are eating. And then read up on those foods and see what they do for yourself, for your own knowledge. And once you do that, you're going to be in a much better position to see what's going on. And then do this daily and just keep reading upon certain foods and where are the nutrients, what kind of supplements are good, what does cow milk do, what types of negative things are in soft drinks, and just keep asking questions. And that's it for this podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you guys inspire the world and that you guys also keep coming back to my podcast, because I have so much to tell you in terms of nutrition and in terms of how you can get better right now in your life to become happier for your family and for your friends. So please come check me out on Instagram, which is Growth Coach 007. This is the James Bond of Growth. My name is Danny Milivojevic, and see you on the next podcast. Welcome guys back to my podcast. Guys, today is a beautiful day. Today I actually left the hostel today, and this was the reason. There was a reason I left the hostel today, and because I became direct today. And this is the first time in my life that I've actually became direct fully 100%, and I say that with intention. Now the reason is that I now can see what directness is, and all that it is just your ability to see how well you're doing, how good you're doing. So no matter what, there are idiots around, and you have to be careful as they drive around, because they don't give a fuck about you. You have to remember. Now, I care about you, but just realize that I'm not there with you in person. But even though I do speak right now with you, you can always tune into my programs, and you can make sure that you tune in with me, because you are the one who subscribed, and thank you very much. So no matter what, I like to be direct with people now, and the reason is that directness is a way of life, and those people who get jealous about you teaching or saying what is, right, are the people who are fake. So you have to realize that the more you speak about what is, and what is right now, the more you're going to succeed. And now many people are indirect people. They cannot communicate their emotions. They are not direct. So the more direct you are, the more you're going to offend people. And now I say offend people because you need to grow as a person, and you need to be controversial. And now the best way to offend people is at the seminar. Go make your own seminar and go and kill it. And what do I mean by killing it? I mean go and be the best version of yourself over there. And you need to learn communication skills. So the only way to do that is to read more. You need to read more and more and more until you can grow. The same with me. You need to actually subscribe to this channel or to my subscription for as long as possible, so that eventually you can learn how to communicate on your own accord. So then when you do learn how to communicate on your own accord, and you may be saying, oh, but I already see you already know how to communicate. Well, listen, if you do know that, then please, you have to realize that no matter what, you must keep communicating better and better. Now, never tell your audience to go, but show your audience how they can leave a person. okay? But the whole point of life is to never leave, and it's the only point of life is just to make sure that you are always gaining something in return. Now, when you're gaining something in return, you're saying, hey, I deserve more, okay? So the whole point of deserving more in life is to make sure that you're more worthy of who you are. So how do you do that? You project outward. What does projecting outward mean? It means you need to sacrifice some fun time to be able to have a more fun time. Do you understand that? Most people are having fun and they're not really living. You need to have fun and really live. Danny Milivojevic. So no matter what, just be yourself, and when people are shouting at you, just never mind them, but mind your own story. Now no matter what, there are many drunks out there, there are many drug addicts, okay? And I suggest that when you go around these people, be as straight up as possible as you can, because that's the best way you're going to live life. And now if they get offended, and if they fight you, and if they hurt you, you have to fight back. Do you understand? You have to fight back because you have to stand for something, okay? Now, it's nothing against something, and something will always win. Even if you're put in jail, who cares? I'll tell you right now, the only way forward is to fight back. You must fight back. Do you understand? So no matter what, never even let it get to a point where you have to fight back. But if it does get to a stage, guess what? All you can do is just leave. Okay? It means just leave. Leave the terrain. Leave those people. Just remove yourself from the situation, because obviously those people cannot hack. So guess what? You don't even have to ever worry about fighting back. But now, fighting back means really growing as a person. That's what I mean by fighting back. You have to fight them back, okay? You have to be controversial, okay? Not cause violence. Never hit a person, okay? If they hit you, make sure that you just walk away, okay? There's a actual tonality. It goes like this: never back down, okay? And never quit. So no matter what, never give up, and make sure that you're always motivated. Now, tune into my channel so that you can always get the latest information about the world and who I am, and also about how to really live. Now, I had a question today. Oh, you cannot teach what is. You're a nobody. Oh, but see, they never said that about me. They said it about themselves. See, never get offended by what people are saying, because they don't even know what they're talking about. And now, do I know what I'm talking about? No, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But guess what? I have more wisdom than most of the population. Now, no matter what, I consider myself the wisest person on the planet right now. I consider myself that. So let's just say that. Now, why do I reason like this? Because I see what other people don't. I see who I am. I have a deeper meaning of spirituality, and I've lived more than anyone else in life. And I can always prove it. Now, for those people who disagree with me, I can challenge them, and I can actually bring you in front of a stage, and I'll actually promote you also. And let's have a look. Who is bigger? Now, when I say bigger, I say that we are who we are, but we are equals. But to a certain extent, you must realize that people live on a spiritual plane higher than you. Now, yes, we may be equals and we may be out of this world, but in this world, we're different. We're very different. You know why? Because you may be below me right now, or you may be above me, but I say that I am the wisest. And the reason I say that is because that's what I believe. And now, you can totally disagree, but there are people who are on a higher level than you. I've just never met one who's higher than me. So, if you can challenge me, please come out and let's do it. So that's just the way I am, and that's why here I am walking out of the hostel, because people are just very, very resentful of the way I am and the way I speak, right? Because I believe in myself so much that no matter what, I must show them who I really am in my directness. Do you know why? Because here I am speaking about value, and that's what they never do. They never do that, right? They said, you're a nobody. How can you teach? You cannot teach what is. But guess what? Here I am teaching what is. Right? So guess what? Never listen to the naysayers. Those people are naysayers. They're people who have no lives. That guy who said that, he looked like a junkie, to be honest.
long hair, right? Looks like Bob Marley, just an Australian version, right? But to be honest, let's have a look. Bob Marley, right? Beautiful singer, right? Has a voice, and he can teach you some wisdom. And then there are many singers, and all they stand for is just a voice. That's all they pronounce in their life. Have a voice, right? Now those people teach me nothing. They teach me, yes, have a voice. What else? Nothing else. They don't teach me life, right? I teach you life. I teach you have a voice and life itself. A singer, yeah, all of them. They teach just have a voice, nothing else. And their lyrics, I never listen to them because they have no voice in that aspect of life. They have a voice. Do you know what their voice is? The vocality of their voice. That's their voice. I will always love you. Yeah, I love that. Now, that teaches me nothing. Whitney Houston, thank you very much. But your voice is beautiful. Oh, I appreciate your voice. One of a kind. Yeah. But she taught me nothing in that. She just said that she'll love someone else. That's it. Alright? Now, no matter what, that teaches me nothing. But to teach yourself, you must teach yourself to grow. And the only way that you can teach yourself is to actually do it. It's to do it, it's to speak it, it's to live it, and it's to go deeper than anyone else. Now, no matter what, you have to realize where I came from. I came from a background that is far poor, okay? Now, there were actually poorer people than me, but I also sink even deeper. I was very fat. I was in schizophrenia. And also I was in rehab. I was almost committing suicide. And I was taking drugs, I was smoking cigarettes, I was on the cocaine, I was doing weed, ecstasy, smoking weed for 3 years every day, mostly every day. And guess what? Here I am. Today, I overcame my drug addictions, I'm sober, I'm vegan, right? I was a meat eater too. I grew up in a meat eating family. And here I am. I could not write a sentence before. I could not even speak like this before. I don't even know what to say. I didn't even know what to start. I lost myself completely. And here I am, before in 2019. Today's 4th of January 2020. I've already been traveling 7 months now. So I've just been doing myself. And you just have to realize to just mind your own business when other people are minding yours. Because the best person on the planet never looks at what other people do. They look at what needs to be done better. Let's remember that. Because those people who make a difference, they're the people who are doing better. Now, if I look better than you, you have no right to judge me in life. But step up, please. Step up. And also always make sure that you point out people's emotions. Please tell them, this is what I see right here. This is what I feel. You know why? Because when you see them, when you see what you are doing, right? And when you see and you tell them in a seeing way, you must realize that you're showing them, all right? So showing people is much more better than telling them. Now this right here is actually showing you something. It's also telling you, okay? But what you do is you tell people, okay? You tell people this is how it is, all right? But in a nicer way, you can say, this is how I show you. This is what I teach you, right? So I teach you. Now, if they get offended, yeah, listen, I told you, right? And you take it and you go home, right? Now, you want to start a fight with me? Listen, I'm not a violent person. But if you're not good enough for me, then you're obviously going to fight. And I mean violence. You're going to cause violence. And you're going to be really disturbed because I really sparked your emotions, right? And now a person who makes you angry is your biggest teacher. Remember that. And if you get angry at someone, remember, be aware of that person. That person is actually helping you grow. Alright, so no matter what, if I spark your emotions today in this audio, just remember that I taught you something. Alright, because those people who make you angry are always going to better you. Now, my dad was one of my biggest motivators in life because he was the one who always fucking made me angry about my life, about everything that I was doing. And my biggest critic of life was me, and then my dad. Okay, my dad is one of the biggest pessimists of the world, and when I say that with conviction, because he's like that. Okay, and he does nothing, okay, but give me money, okay? And listen, he's there for me, yeah, in terms of money. But he cannot give me anything else, okay? He can give me some shelter, okay, as well. But other than that, nothing else. And look, no matter what, that's more than enough. And that's more than enough than other people are living, alright? And now, thank you very much. Lucky enough, I grew up in a family where it was middle class, and we were still very poor before. And here I am, changing my life by myself. I asked myself to say, oh, my dad did not teach me this. I said, I was like, yeah, you know why? Because I have to teach myself. Your dad, your mum, your brother, your sister, your family are not going to be there for you. No way. Do you know what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to have to learn from better people. You're going to have to see things yourself. You're going to have to do things yourself. You're going to have to love life yourself. Your family, your mum, your dad cannot love for you. You have to love it yourself. You have to do it yourself. You have to do love. Right? You have to learn yourself. No one's going to learn for you. No one's going to walk your steps in life. So here I am encouraging you to still walk on. No matter what, no matter how tough, no matter how hard, you must be able to push on. Now I sound a bit like Jim Rohn, in a kind of way. I took some of his tonalities and I combined it with mine. But now it's just ultimately me. And this is just part of me now, right? That's the way I see myself. As someone who is far bigger than anyone else. So now, that's how I get my uniqueness. Because I'm not anyone else. I'm just Danny Milivojevic. And my name can never be described. So no matter what, you just have to realize that no matter what, people will always be against you when you are real. When you say what is. When you see and tell it how it is. Right? You don't like how I feel? I don't care about your feelings. But you have to realize that when I teach you something, it's the ultimate method to make you grow. So does that make me a loser? Of course not. It makes me a winner in your heart, even though you find me angry. Or even though you find yourself angry. Because I never get angry. But those people that I actually show them what directness is, and I communicate my needs, and they say, no, I don't care about your needs, you have to listen to my needs. No, you have to listen to my needs. So you have to realize that you must always communicate your needs, even when someone tells you to stop communicating your needs. Because they're choking, those people, they're choking, and they're really, really rude in that moment to say, stop, you don't have a life. You don't deserve a life. You understand? And when someone says, you cannot teach, who are you to teach? They're saying like, they're actually drowning you in that situation. Right? So you have to be like, you have to say, no, you are nobody to tell me that I cannot teach. Okay? I have a voice, you're going to stitch my mouth. And then you have to just realize that no matter what, you have to speak up for yourself anyway. So never let anyone else tell you or show you that you can never talk around people or say how it is. Do you know why? Because they got offended by you. Alright? And now offensive language is different. When you swear at people, you're obviously offensive. Okay? Now, when you're telling it how it is, that's just communication. That's not offensive behavior. But they find it offensive. Now, these are stupid people. Okay? Now, when you swear at people, swear at them. Yeah, swear at them when they deserve it. Yeah. And when the police say, oh, did you swear at them? Yeah, say yeah. Or you file assault on them. I was like, no, it's just a way of life. And no matter what they say, those people, the police will always put you in jail for how they see it. But then you tell the police how you see it, so that you can better communicate for yourself. Because the police are there for you, and they're not there for you. You just have to remember that. That's the way of life. People are there for you, but they're not there for you. And now that's a contradiction. That's what my mentor Osho teaches. He teaches, for every person, there is a contradiction. You must be able to see them in a great light and in a negative light. And no matter what, this is a way of life. This is what you must truly believe also. You must believe in the good and evil of life, which is the contradiction of life. Now, this is spiritual talk now, okay? This is life coaching at best. And now, no matter what, you have to realize I just left the hostel and I gave $15, right? And here I am walking 4 kilometers to another hostel because, do you know why? Those people in the hostel do not deserve me there because they were offended by me for never being offensive, for never saying swearing words, right? They're offensive to me, actually. But guess what? To me, I never get hurt by anything. So guess what? I have to leave because I cannot be around lower grade people. Because to me, that's offensive. And I really, really, really see that as my opportunity to grow. So no matter what, an offensive tactic for me would be, I have to grow. Alright? So I link offensive, whoever's offensive to me or offensive in nature, is my opportunity to actually grow and confront that person about their behavior. That's the way I see life. Now, those people who judge me for talking are fucking idiots because they have a mouth too. Now, I like to be man to man and I like to be man to woman. And you must do the same. And you cannot have any blockages in life, and you need to actually direct your communication toward other people and say it how it is and stop having anxiety about it. Now, the whole point of that is to unlock your anxiety and to say that you have no anxiety, okay? That anxiety is a lie. That fear is a lie. That fear is anxiety, okay? And anxiety is a fear that you have, and it's a lie, okay? There is no fear in life. Once you see the fear, you actually direct through it. Okay, what do I mean? The more you speak, the loud and better you're going to sound. Okay, so see how I communicate in this audio? Do you know why? Because I pushed through my fears to be able to do that. I pushed, and now I sound like this. Because I worked on it. I worked on my sound. What is my sound? My vocality, my speech, my language, my niceness, my eruption, my volcano, my way of life, my quality, my beauty, my lovingness, my authenticity, my authenticality, okay? So this is all me now using vocabulary words in my own mind, and that's what you must do. You must be able to find yourself the best version of yourself. So guys, if you guys have enjoyed this audio podcast, make sure that you pass it on and make sure that you have learned something in this, and please just repeat it 5 times so you can really, really grasp the audio, because it's going to really help you and it's going to really show you something in terms of how you can move forward. Now, most people are going to think, oh, you're an idiot, like, who are you speaking? Like, who are you to speak? It's like me saying, oh, like, who are you to breathe? Like, who are you to have eyes? Who are you to do that? It's so stupid, guys. So no matter what, just make sure you're never afraid of anyone. There's no reason to be afraid, and just live your life. Because no matter what, you can never be judgmental in life. You can only do you, and you must grow no matter what. So what you do is, when other people are looking at you, just be direct. And no matter what, words are words, and live your life. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you actually for listening to the audio. And whenever you have to have a mistake in your life, just remember that it's a growth opportunity to speak even more. So no matter what, you just have to realize that now I will speak even more because I said you know, because that's a discipline. That's what you have to do. You have to learn how to communicate and communicate better. So the best way to communicate is to always do better than you did yesterday. It's to read more, it's to grow more, it's to write more, it's to do everything. Life is a way of life only when you can get through your anxiety. All right? When you have anxiety, talk even more about what it is you feel anxious about. Do you feel anxious about exposing something? Expose it right away. Do you feel anxious about saying something to someone? Expose it right away to that person. Do you feel anxious about doing something? Go and do it right away. You know what I'm saying? You have to push through the fear. Once you push through it, listen, it's beauty. It's going to feel amazing. And then you're going to say, wow, it was just limiting thoughts that you had. Okay? That's why I can talk like this. That's why I can do what I do. That's why I can travel for 7 months of Australia in 2019. Yeah, on Centrelink too. On Centrelink. You know what that is? That's on the allowance of the government. Do you know why? Because I'm already free. Okay, I'm already free. No matter what, I can just move overseas to my mum and just go live there and continue my work. And then just do it in Serbia, or do it in Austria, or do it in Germany with my family. Okay? And then you may say, oh yeah, you're lucky, Danny, you're lucky for that. And I'll be like, yeah, well look, we all started the same. Yeah, we did. We all started as we were babies, we were growing. And there's no excuses for you not to learn. It doesn't matter where you are in life. You can have the most beautiful life in the planet, even in the poorest country of the planet. And even with the poorest pay. And even with the poorest everything. So guess what? There's no excuses for you not to live life better. Just because I live life better doesn't mean I had it easier than you. I was diagnosed as schizophrenic. I smoked cigarettes for 7 years. I was doing drugs. I was doing ice. I was doing ecstasy. I was in rehab 4 months of my life. I was 113 kilos. I dropped it down to 67. I lost 47 kilos. I turned vegan. Like, what are you going to say, guys? There's nothing for you to say. Oh, yeah, but you must work the 9 to 5. No, I do not have to work the 9 to 5. Sorry. I have more time now. Okay? For me, time is my most valuable asset. I get to do my passion now. I get to live my life. What's 9 to 5 going to teach you? Nothing. Okay? You guys work the 9 to 5. Some of you are reading, some of you are not. And those of you that are not reading while the 9 to 5 work, while you're doing 9 to 5 work, then you're just setting yourself up for failure anyway. I'm at least doing something, right? I'm doing something like this audio program, my quotes, my education, my motivation, my communication, the way I look, the way I eat, the way I live life, the way I travel. I travel 7 months of Australia. Yeah, I travel 7 months of Australia, doing my life. For myself, not for anyone else. I have no need to work the 9 to 5. I'm already time freedom in life. I never allow myself to work for someone else. I never allow myself to work for $20 an hour. I never allow myself to work for someone else for 100k. No, that's bullshit. I have a passion. Sorry, this is my work. All right, this is my 9 to 5. This is my 24-hour work. Sorry, I work at this every fucking day, all hours of my life. This is my work. My sleep is my work. When I sleep too. That is my work. Sleep is productivity, as Brian Tracy says. So no matter what, you guys have no excuses to blame me for the life I have. Okay, because blaming gets you nowhere. And here I am, giving you value anyway. And yes, I did write some quotes that were very negative. But guess what? It's going to teach you something anyway. Alright? And you may say, oh, this guy's very negative. But I gave you a whole bunch of information for $7.20 a month. What you got to say about that? Now listen, there's no excuses in life for how someone lives life or how they started off. If they started off rich, sorry, you never started off poor like me, bitch. You understand? Just because you're rich doesn't mean you fell to the way I was. Where's that Cristiano Ronaldo? I'll show him something. Yeah, you started off as a poor boy. You were never schizophrenic. You were never overweight like me. You never did drugs like me. Sorry. You never were a smoker of 7 years like me. Where's Tony Robbins? Sorry, mate. You were never schizophrenic. You never did ice. You never smoked weed mostly every day for 3 years. You were never on medications for 5 years like I was. You were never on steroid medications. Hello? Okay? You never taught yourself how to lose weight. No, you didn't. Because you were never overweight. Okay? But no matter what, you have to realize that no one has to be at my level. Okay? To be exactly like me. You can be like me any day of the week. But guess what? You can never be me. You can only be as spiritual as me. Okay? You can never think like how I think. You can always be on my spiritual plane. Yes. No matter what. You start off rich, you can be on my spiritual plane from richness. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But no, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because you don't know how it feels like. No, sorry, you don't know how. The only way you can see is to fall lower than me. Okay? There's no other way for you to experience life than to go deeper into hell and then drag yourself out of it and see exactly what down there is. Sorry, if you're at the top and you stay at the top, you'll never know how the bottom is. That's just the way of life. Sorry, I have no other way to say that. So, many people resent me for the way I speak. And for the way I speak is how I live. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. The guy died for peace. He died for peace, do you understand? He's a guy of integrity. He's a person who never strike violence in the world. Guess what? He was shot by someone. He was shot twice in the chest and he got killed. The guy is shorter than me. He's like 160 centimeters. He's a small guy. Big mind, big heart. That guy had. He got shot. For what? For what? For wanting peace in the world? No, he didn't want peace. He needed peace in the world. Right? He needed more peace. He stood for something. He stood for peace. He was a peaceful man. Got peace. Peace. He will never shot. He will never hurt you. But he will say how I speak. He will tell you how I speak. He will show you what realism is. He will show you the way of life of peace. And that's why he was shot. He was shot for being an incredible man. Right? That's what he does. So no matter what, you have to realize that people are not on your side. But you have to realize those who lift you up are the only people that will help you. So anyway, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this audio program, and I hope to see you in the next one. And just remember, guys, speak directly with people, and always repeat this audio 5 times. And each of my audios, please repeat 5 times. Make sure that you're always reading something in life. Have more mentors as well, just so you get more perspectives. But just realize that I'm all you need right now, and I can teach you everything myself. Guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next podcast.